So you did put out your song Burn to Black not too long ago.
Yes.
What I like about it, well, there's a lot to like about it, but I love a breakup song that isn't necessarily about the dude. Like,
Hmm.
it's really more about navigating your own experience and your own
Hmm.
feelings as they come up, especially if that was your first real heartbreak. How did you
Hmm.
get to that song?
Well, it was my first real heartbreak. I dated a guy for 4 years, and we were split for about a year and a half when we wrote this song. And I had just got to a point in life where I was kind of open-minded to dating again, and there was such a weird space around dating again. And your first time that you love somebody, you don't think about anything. You're just all in, and it's exciting, and it's butterflies, and it's never gonna end. And then it does, and then you grow up a little bit and grow into your own self, and you suddenly have all these boundaries and the memories, and it's such a weird space. And so I went in with John Knight and Danielle Blakey, and it was something we all really connected on. And it was important to me that I didn't have like an intense breakup song because I think we all go through breakups. The bigger learning time for me was that space afterwards. And so that's what we went after, and Burn to Black came out of it.
And that was the first taste of the new EP that's coming out in April,
Yes.
Desert Darling. And you
Yeah.
not only wrote all of the songs, but they basically cover the last several years of your life.
Yeah, I we started talking about a project last year, and I am such a big road tripper, and I wanted to feel like this was a road trip vibe slash a chapter of life, and then I wanted to be able to close it and move on. And I felt like my 19 to 25, there were so many experiences and life lessons and things that I wanted to share. And so I always say I'm like a wild child. My mom called me a wild child growing up, and I don't ever want to lose that in me. So I'm always trying to speak to the other wild childs out there, I guess. And the first single on it is very youthful and young. And then one of my favorite parts about this EP is that song talks about feeling weightless because of somebody. And then the last song on the EP talks about being weightless because you're just on your own. And I just think that's so important to get to that place in life. And I'm excited to share the chapter with everybody. It's really fun.
Well, let's talk
So,
about a couple more of the songs. Tell us about the
yes.
title track, Desert Darling.
Yeah. Desert Darling was kind of a surprise to us. So, we have the 5 songs done already. It's a 6 track EP, and Danielle and I were like, let's just do one more day, see what happens. And she had this track built out that the vibe of it, I was floored. I was like, oh my gosh, we have to write something to this right now. And we did. We tackled it that day. I love the desert. I have had some really cool moments in Joshua Tree. I went for my birthday a couple years ago, and it was just I learned a lot while I was on that trip. And so something about the desert has always stood out to me. And I had this title, Desert Darling, and we didn't have like the love song part of the EP. And so that's what we chased after, and ended up being the title track. We weren't going in there expecting anything to come out of the day, but ended up being a really cool song.
The newest song before the EP comes out is Just Because.
Yes.
There is a great line in there, finding there's a difference between lonely and alone.
Mm,
I love that so much because
thank
from a
you.
distance, those are the same things, but there can be so much peace in being alone.
Mhm.
Tell us about that song and
Yes.
how you came up with that.
Just because, I mean, I feel like that line in itself is probably the biggest message that I want to get out in that song. After going through that breakup, I took a year where I did not date at all. And I was like, I've got to be in a place where I'm super happy in my own space by myself. And I mean, I was taking myself out on dates. If I wanted to go do something, I'm like, you can go do it for yourself. And I just really learned to value who I am and love myself, and got out of that place of feeling lonely, but to a place of I love being by myself. And unless people or someone adds to this, then like I'm okay. I don't need more than what I have. And so that was the place the song came out of. And I feel like when you're in that place where you're just so happy in life and with just who you are, and that's enough, it's like you can tackle the world, and you deserve it all, and you deserve it all for yourself. And so I don't feel like there has to be an explanation. That's why we just said, just because. I just want it all because that's what I owed myself. And
I
big learning
think,
lesson.
yeah, I think and I'm gonna be old lady now. But I
Okay.
think it's really cool that you have figured that out at the age that you have. That you can that you can say, I don't want to be in a relationship if it's not going to be something that adds to my life.
Yeah.
I
It's
think that's
just
really
not
cool.
worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, for me too, I'm so busy and I'm all over the place, so keeping up with myself is hard enough. But it's a really special place to be in, and I feel like the world just is way more colorful and more beautiful. Like I'm able to accept so much more
Mm.
because I'm just so happy with where I am on my
Good
own.
for
Yeah.
you. Good for you.
Yeah.
The
Thank
EP
you.
will be an introduction to you for a lot of people. What do
Yes.
you want them to come away with about you after they listen?
Hmm. I mean, honest, I'm a human being. I think that's so important. And these stories, they're all true of who I am and the life that I've gone through. And so I just really hope that people are able to at least find one song they're able to relate to and relate to my story in their own way. I hope that people see that I'm very true to who I am. It's so important to me. And there's sacrifices that come, I think, when you are, I mean, for the best, true to who you are. But I think when you listen down to this EP, you'll see where I came from of relying on somebody else to finding friendships to standing on my own. And I hope people walk away encouraged to stand on their own too, and that they'll know that about me. Well, everything I write is very true. So they're going to learn a lot about me for sure.